after the podcast, me and Max talked, and he says, dude, I'm going to destroy Ilia Topuria. I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to make him quit. And I believe Max Holloway is going to make Ilia Topuria quit because Max is not scared to exchange, and he's also going to be longer and crisper against Ilia Topuria.
The El Matador, he's trying to run away from Abu in the pen. You know, I'm here.
He can say whatever he wants to say. That I'm running and that he's the bull and this and that. Come on, man. Just bring the same energy you had in the last 10 seconds, but bring it in the first 10 seconds. And we'll see what's going to happen. Let's bang. I know that I will be the first one to take his lights out. I know that I'm way better than him everywhere. I can do with him whatever I want to do. I just can ask him, like, how you want me to finish you? You want me to knock you out? You want me to submit you? What you want me to do?
I think it's a very compelling fight. I think Max's footwork is what makes him a tricky opponent. Styles make fights. Max has got a hell of a chin. Ilia can crack. But the thing is, Ilia just walks you down, right? And this is just my assessment. He walks you down till he gets you close enough to the cage, and then he lets go of that combination, and then he puts guys out. It's whether or not he can do that to Max, and will Max sit there and try to exchange with him against the cage where Ilia does his best work. And I think that's the interesting dynamic of that fight, to kind of see which way it's gonna go. I think it's a very compelling fight, man. I don't know. It's hard for me to say, because I think if Ilia's smart, if the striking doesn't work out, he goes and takes Max Holloway down, uses that elite level grappling, and that could be the difference in the fight.
If a guy like Max Holloway, if a guy like Ilia Topuria cannot put out a guy like Max Holloway with that endurance and that gas tank that he has, and now that he's knocking people out senseless, Ilia Topuria could be in trouble. Could a guy like Ilia Topuria bring in that wrestling?
No, that's gonna be a sick fight.
It's gonna be a banger.
Fight.
Yeah, Ilia ain't one of these other dudes though. Like, he ain't gonna swing for the fences.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna freaking, dude hits so much harder than anybody's fought, and is way better wrestling.
Yeah, it's a crazy fight.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. And he has good cardio.
Fighting with me, it's gonna be like completely different because I don't make any step backs. You know, all the time I walk forward. I can wrestle. I can go to the ground. I can punch you, and I move. I go inside that cage with that strategy. You know, I don't go there just to throw some punches. You know.
I think that Holloway's going to give him a run for his money, if not beat him. You know, Topuria is an animal, though. He's got tons of power. He's very crisp boxing. It's a fight that I definitely want to see, but I think Holloway does a very good job against him. I think Topuria's got an excellent chance to kind of like punch going forward. I wouldn't say Max is a guy that punches while backing up. Max is a guy that likes to set his combos up. Like, he'll jab to the body, he'll feint, he'll set up his combos. But when you watch Max back out, he just backs out. He's not like punching while going backwards. Like, he's not throwing check hooks. He's not doing plant crosses as you come in. So there is the chance that Topuria can like put the pressure on him and beat him that way.
My phone's flooded with messages of Ilia scared. Did you see his face when they went to Topuria after Max Holloway got that victory? What the are you guys talking about? He's not afraid of anybody. He's a fucking killer.
Yeah,
but
that's how I feel.
That exactly right. But like, I don't understand why. Why do people search for these words that make no sense? Like, Ilia Topuria is scared, but he's the UFC world champion and he's undefeated. What in the world scares that man, Ben?
So to be honest, I didn't even realize that I had the camera on my face. I think I was talking to Israel, then I was like looking around and all that. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I saw it. People saw it, but I don't know. Like, you know, like everybody's like, oh, he's like whatever, but you can't. I don't know the dude. You know what I mean? You don't know if he's socially awkward or something. So like maybe that's just what he is. You know, no. Fair play to him. You know, I don't know how animated or whatever he is. So I ain't gonna take to it. This guy is a world champion. He's a killer. But like I said all fight week, brother, it's quite, you know, we got questions. There's a lot of questions about the guy, and I wanna figure that out.
Like, even after the fight, when he was getting asked about Ilia Topuria on ESPN, didn't say anything bad. So respectful. Because Ilia Topuria was just like,
Yeah.
he looked bored, or a blank expression, or maybe he was just tired, or who knows, you know, he could have twisted that. Max Holloway could have said, look at that. Yeah, I wouldn't be chatting shit either. I'd be keeping my mouth closed. That's right, Ilia Topuria doesn't want this. But he was like, no, maybe he's just a quiet guy. Maybe he's socially awkward. And I'm like, Max, your legend just keeps getting bigger. I mean, how can you not love this guy?
But right now, I'm going to ask for you. And trust me, it's going to be a hard night for you.
If I'm looking for big time money fights, if I'm the UFC, I'm looking to make a star out of someone. We need Topuria to be more of a star. Let's collect the checks. Let's go to the bank and cash them. Okay, let's do this. And I think that's the perfect fight.
I love Ilia. I love Max. I'll be there live for that one. I promise you. Where the if it's in Moon, Spain, I'll buy my ticket. I'm going to Spain. 100% I'm there. But if it's in the Moon, if it's in Jupiter, I'm fucking there. It's gonna be one of the greatest fights on 145.
So, no, I don't think Ilia Topuria is at that level yet to where he's fighting for a BMF title. Of course, he is a savage, and of course, right now, he is the current undisputed featherweight champion of the world, and that's where he's fighting for. I think he needs a little bit more chances, a little bit more dances at the rodeo to be considered for that BMF. Right now, Max Holloway is the BMF in the UFC, and that's where it is.
Yeah, there is a lot of things involved in this fight, you know. He got that belt. He has that bad belt, so I'm excited to add that belt to my legacy too. Without the BMF belt, I don't want him at all. If not, I'm gonna fight with Volk, who deserves more than him, the rematch. That belt, I'm excited about that. That's why I want him. So he's being saying like, right now I have a lot of options, this and that. He didn't have any options. I'm the champion right now. I choose the date. I choose the place. So he just has to be ready, and he has to wait for the call. Whenever I want him, he has to be ready.
Interesting. I understand why Topuria would say that, because that's worth getting. You know, the BMF belt. I mean, the more I think about it, because there was a lot of stigma attached to the BMF belt. A lot of people saying, "Oh, this is stupid, made-up belts." But now, like, we're getting a little deeper into the history of the BMF belt, and certainly with that fight, the way that it went down, and what these fighters represent. Justin Gaethje, of course, one of them. Masvidal, of course. I think now the BMF belt, from the public and from fighters, is getting a lot more respect, which I believe it should. I like it now. You know, I was kind of like, well, it's fun, but I wasn't blown away by the concept. But I thought it's fun. All right, I had no issue with it. But now I'm like, hold on a minute. Now it stands for something. Now it means something, and that shows, because Topuria wants that belt.
But I just don't know, like Ilia Topuria, I just don't think he's deep enough into his career, right? For a BMF type of showcase, right? I think you could go Conor McGregor, Max Holloway for a BMF belt. And I think Max Holloway can make 45. I'm not going to say with relative ease, Kenny, at this point in time, but he's looked progressively better, remarkably, making that weight as he has gotten older. The last few times he really has looked good. He's won 2 straight fights at featherweight. So I think you got to go undisputed featherweight championship, Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you're going to take a look at it and say, you know, what's the fight for Max at this point? Like I said, he can go anywhere. Right now he's in a position he can say, I want to stay here, and they're going to say, great, boom, and they're going to put him in a big time fight. Or he can say, I want to go back down and take that title back from Topuria. They're going to do that too. Yeah. So he's in a position where he can do whatever he wants. I personally believe the same as you. I think the Topuria fight is just a better fight for him. If you're going to look at, say, you know, look at Topuria can wrestle, so it's not like he won't do it, but his stand-up is just outstanding also. And it would be just a great fight. You could put that thing on, man, put it on in Madrid or Barcelona in a big stadium. Ooh, hello.